There we go. There's
Yep, best of luck again.
So hello once again, pod racing fans. I am Nock. I am here joined by Game Draco, one of the most esteemed and longest players of this game.
Just give
Thank you
us
for joining
the
me.
talk and chat, and then we'll give you the hello everyone. This will be a Master versus Apprentice match between Master Domirae versus Apprentice Jogilbee, and it feels funny on commentary having a similar thing with I'm doing the Master commentary and not being the Apprentice, so it's pretty funny. This is a hilariously Master versus Apprentice match.
Yeah, it'll be. They've gentlemen's agreemented. That's not the tense of that word, but whatever. They've agreed to play Inferno with Sebulba. So following Jogilbee's pattern of liking and picking Sebulba. This is also one of Jogilbee's best courses. He actually took this track off of Nacho Bredo in their match a week or so ago in a straight-up Ben versus Ben race. So expect this to be close.
Trick it. Now the question is, has the Apprentice learned any tricks that the Master doesn't know?
Well, last time it did seem like Jogilbee was taking the safer routes on this course. He was not taking the hard turns to do the slightly faster lines.
Yeah, but Domirae is now second in the world now, only to Ace.
Yeah, so probably some pod unfamiliarity, but surely has the advantage in terms of raw fundamentals.
Well, and Domirae having fun with Sebulba's flame jet. Okay, we can get the countdown going. Countdown has been given.
Should see the racers starting shortly once the delay catches up. This is one of the harder courses in the game. It is actually sort of the final track of the game. It's the fourth track of the final circuit that you unlock. This is actually where you unlock the overpowered pod, Ben Quadraneros.
Yeah. You have to beat the amateur, galactic, and semi-pro circuits in full to unlock Inferno. And I honestly have no idea what a good time with Sebulba is on this track.
Yeah, it's hard to guess. Sebulba is the slowest pod at maximum upgrades, as he has the worst boost thrust of any pod in the game.
Actually, he's second only to Wild Sandage. He's 5 units faster than Wild Sandage, but because his cooling ratio and cool rate is so atrocious, worse than Wild Sandage, Sebulba's slightly slower than him.
I'll do this sync really quickly, but this race is pretty neck and neck with Domirae just a little bit ahead, maybe about a second.
It's also interesting to see how Sebulba's boost thrust is so weak. They aren't launching into the ceiling like what happens with Mars, Bullseye, Ben, Mahana, or Elon Mac with this track.
Right, a 55.7 for Dom and a 57.3 for Jogilbee.
57 for Jogilbee.
Just a little bit behind, but managing to keep pace with one of the fiercest competitors in this tournament.
Ooh, went over the lava and caught fire.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate happenstance there. That can actually really slow you down. Another 57 lap, though. Didn't cost him that much.
Oh, he's pulling up, which is not too good unless you really have to. Whoa! Domirae crashed into the
takes
ceiling.
a crash.
Still.
Oh, but he's still ahead. This is going to be a photo finish here. Oh, this is the... assuming everything stays the same, this is going to be within tenths of a second.
And there's Domirae showing us Sebulba's Flame Jet. Actually, if you do play mirror mode, it will fire in the opposite direction. Oh, I think Jogilbee is catching fire because he's going over the lava and not seeing over the bridge. I remember that happened to me a long time before I discovered that quirk.
Yeah, and you see Domirae taking the left path there, which is not only faster, but it avoids that lava issue.
Ooh! Took the slightly safer, longer route. And
Dom's really made up that time.
Domirae comes in, 247 with Sebulba. With a death, 249 for Jogilbee.
Yeah, unfortunate that Jogilbee wasn't comfortable taking that faster line. Cost him a lot of time.
Okay. We have our first pyro ban from Domirae. He's banning Beato's Wild Ride.
Beato's Wild Ride, not the hardest course in the game, but just every part of that track wants to crash you.
Bumpy's Breakers from...
Yeah, Jogilbee seems to be a fan of banning Bumpies, probably a course he's not comfortable with. It's one of the longer courses in the game and very technical, so not surprising. And Dom taking out Scrapper's Run. That's probably a good move from him. Scrapper's Run is a fairly short course, so it's quite difficult to make up the time loss from a crash.
Scrapper's Run banned from Domirae.
See what the final track ban is here from Jogilbee.
Howler Gorge.
Okay. Not surprised to see neither of these players banning the tracks like Grabvine Gateway or Fire Mountain Rally. Both of them are big fans of the harder courses in the game.
Yeah. Okay, we're going into pod ban.
See what Jogilbee wants to do. I'd really love to see him using his forces for this match. Against me, I don't think he used any, nor do I think he used any against Nacho. It can really influence your strategy.
Banning Bullseye. Yep. Banning Fire Mountain Rally.
Alright, I would not be surprised to see us go to Grabvine Gateway here. Bullseye Navoir is the fastest pod on exactly 2 courses in this game, Grabvine Gateway and Fire Mountain Rally, just due to his turn rate. No, we're going to Sebulba's Legacy.
Yeah. With the skip demoted, it's really hard to do with a pod outside of Bullseye.
Yeah, Jogilbee actually picked this against me yesterday and looked quite solid here. So we'll probably be seeing both players picking Ben Quadraneros, the fastest pod on this track. This is a very windy, twisty track where you can get caught on several turns that really sneak up on you. It's quite a dark track, so it can be difficult to see where you're going if you don't have everything memorized. And of course, as you mentioned, Draco, there is that somewhat infamous wall ride at the end. We'll point it out when the racers get there. can be very difficult to consistently go over it, but there's essentially a manner in which you can bounce off a wall to skip a turn at the end of the track. But it's quite easy to crash or to miss the wall entirely, which costs a lot of time. The Dom doing a practice run here. It looks like both racers are just checking their traction and FPS setups. The FPS you run this game at actually drastically changes how the physics function, and there's a different setup that is optimal or comfortable for every track.
It's a new lap record.
Just waiting on the ready from Jogilbee here. There it is. Okay. This will be, looks like another practice lap from Dom here, and we should see the real attempt start just about now. Oh, well, that looked a little strange. Jogibee's game looked like it went down for a second. Alright, and we're off.
Domirae's off. Ooh, Jogilbee is trying to pull up while turning, and that's slowing down his speed, and you don't have to do that. Very common beginner's mistake.
Yeah, you can see with the sync now, he's just a little bit behind Dom. Here is the wall skip we were talking about. Domirae passes it with flying colors, so does Jogilbee. 35.63 first lap for Domirae is blisteringly fast.
That was a nasty what Jogilbee took.
Both of them handling everything well, though, aside from a couple of bumps for Jogilbee and a couple of wide turns. Again, he looks very comfortable on this track. It's just difficult to match the sheer fundamentals that Dom has. And at this point, it's going to take a crash from Dom for Jogilbee to make up this amount of time.
At this point, I think Domirae can actually afford a crash unless he gets a bad respawn on this final turn hop.
Yeah, something truly catastrophic would have to happen, but no.
Nope.
Flying colors once again. Good plan from Jogilbee, taking more experienced players to these very short, very difficult tracks, but unfortunately for him, Dom has actually been practicing this track for the flap record. Took it briefly before Ace captured it back from him.
Yeah.
So perhaps a bit of an unfortunate miscalculation there.
Definitely. Waiting on the pod band now.
Like, yeah, they ended about 7 seconds separate from each other. Dom with a high 144 and Jog with a 151.
Banning Wan Sandage?
Does that suggest a skip of some sort?
Banning Abyss, that's probably a good prediction.
Yeah, it's either Abyss or Bunta training course skips where you would ever use Juan Sandage. As you corrected me earlier, Juan is the slowest pod in the game, but due to his hover height and acceleration, he's actually the fastest at a couple of skips that require climbing walls.
He's the fastest for the Abyss skip, but the most reliable for the Bunta training skip. Mars is faster.
Oh, yes, you do the extra difficult version of Bunta training. If we do go to Bunta training course skips, I know Domirae does know how to do it with many pods, but that is probably one of Jogilbee's better chances at picking up a track here.
Run back with Inferno! This time going all Ben.
All right, that makes sense as a pick. Again, probably Jogilbee's best track. He did take it off of Nacho in a straight up Ben versus Ben fight, so if he's going to take a track without shenanigans, this is going to be it.
And Domirae just said, makes sense.
Dom did crash in their first race on this track, so it's possible we'll see a mistake again.
Yeah.
Once again, though, I really would like to see Jogilbee using these forces. I know that he has practiced some alternate pods on certain tracks. For one thing, he, in his match against Nacho, took them to Grabvine Gateway with Bullseye Navward banned, so he's definitely got some nasty counter picks that he can go to.
Welcome to Watto's shop.
Just waiting on the ready here from our runners. Unfortunately, this is just the reality of running this game. Between every track, you may need to switch your frame rate or your traction upgrades. It seems like Jogilbee may be needing to restart his game every single time he changes his FPS. There's the countdown, thank you for that, Draco, and we'll see if Jogilbee can redeem himself on this track.
I have no idea.
I think if Dom makes...
No idea.
I think if Dom crashes once, he might be able to do it.
I know, but... Nacho crashed a bunch of times.
Yeah, we'll just have to see. It is, of course, a tall ask to get Dom to crash, even on a track this difficult.
Jogilbee underheated badly there.
Yeah, and still jumping over the lava. Now Ben is fast enough to not actually catch fire by doing that, but that will still
No,
put
you'll
Dom.
still heat up. If you're at up max heat, it's really easy to do even with him.
Oh, is that what's doing it? Okay, so it's just using the same heat as your boost vest.
Yeah, because if you go over the lava and boost at the same time, you heat up at an accelerated rate.
Nice.
It's a new lap record.
50. That's a solid first lap for Inferno.
53 for Jogilbee, so already 3 seconds behind.
Oh, the
Oh,
lava
and
crashes.
yeah,
That is over.
that's that will be the track almost certainly. That is less bad than if he had actually just fallen into the lava, which slows you down and it's hard to crash. But still, that's a huge time loss, and I don't think he'll have enough time left on the track to make it up.
Yeah. I think Domirae can even afford a death at this point.
I think he could probably afford two. He is solidly at.
Oh,
That's
my God!
unfortunate.
Just falling. Whoa!
Well, Tom crashes.
But he can afford it.
Yeah, that's too bad for Jogilbee. I hope that doesn't rattle him too much. I know this is one of his favorite tracks.
Oh!
Ah, again. Yeah, just trying to take that difficult line, cutting the turn as close as he can to get the boost back, but biting him there, both of lap 2 and 3. Oh, and Dom crashes into the ceiling.
Still, he can afford it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he's got worlds of time at this point.
Okay. Oh!
Wow. Alright, for those of you who can't see the screen that we can, our pod ban was Mars Guo, Domirae banned Bunta Training Course. Jogilbee is taking us to Grabvine Gateway and burning all 3 of his courses on banning Elan Mac, Bullseye Navor, and Neva Key. That's all 4 of the best choices for this track gone.
Yeah, and you're left with the Martian Juggernaut, who's agile, but really big for this track.
No, they don't even have Mars. He got banned too. This is gonna be...
Whoa!
Yeah, this will be Mahonic, maybe?
Mahonic seems like the only option here of the fast ones available.
It's gotta be Mahonic or Anakin. Anakin's probably a little safer, but Ma is faster.
Okay, Mars Glow. That force came so quick and fast, I have yet to update the live tracker for it.
Yeah, and Jogilbee is already ready. I mean, he's had this planned for sure.
You'll come back.
Good.
Both players have given the ready.
I have to. Oh, Domirae going with Mahonic. And here we go. This is... I have no idea what to expect with this Mega Force.
Well,
I think this This is like the most brutal force I've ever seen in the tournament so far.
Yeah, Mahonic. It'll be difficult to use Mahonic's boost here, I think. He's not the slowest ever, and his turning rate is fine. And for both of these players, this is a track they're very comfortable on. I think this. I would not be wrong in saying that this is probably Dom's favorite track of the entire game.
Well, the other thing too is that Mahonic is used for any percent with upgrades on Fire Mountain Rally.
True, which does share some pieces of this track, though in reverse.
Both going with Mahonic. He's like the obvious choice here.
Yeah, he does seem like the only reasonable pick.
Yeah. No idea what to expect. You never usually expect to take this guy to Railgun Gateway.
Both clean out of the start, but jogilbee underheating pretty significantly down that straight.
And you can just see him pulling up to so much that's hurting his raw speed. That's hurting him big time.
Not sure I've ever seen another player use that strategy. And yes, sorry, Pete. Go ahead. Oh. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's what this track will do to you. This jungle section where everything is obscured and all of the hairpins and switchbacks. Nothing about this track is easy, even the stuff that looks like it is. I'm on pretty good pace with a very clean run here. I don't think he's underheated at all. I'm taking good tight lines.
It's a new lap record.
132 with Mahonic. He just hit my bullseye record.
Yeah, 132 is faster than I would have. Ooh, unfortunate. Now he'll still be far ahead, even with that crash.
Quake shortcut is going to be really clunky with Mahonic. Ooh! Ooh, he missed narrowly. Man, he salvaged a really rotten angle.
Jogilbee with a slightly better angle, but taking nearly as much time to turn into it. That shortcut is only there on laps 2 and 3. A boulder gets destroyed. It's very, very difficult to take. You have to brake quite heavily and turn incredibly sharply right after taking another brake plus incredibly sharp turn. See how Jogilbee handles the swamp. He looked a little slow through here on the first lap. A little better this time around, except for that bonk at the end. And a 132 lap with a death for Domirae.
Oh my god.
Definitely showing his experience and skill on this track. This is one where he is actually...
I remember hearing about in chat Domirae doing contingency planning for practically everything. And
yeah, he has a whole list of every pod that he would use if someone picks all of their... or uses all of their forces to ban the best pods on a track. So he was definitely at least mentally prepared for this. And then I guess you can just rely on raw skill here to use an unfamiliar pod. Jogilbee taking some bad bonks here through the canyon section, having to repair a couple of times. It really slows him down here on this third lap. At this point, it looks like Dom will just take this track. It was a good try by Jogilbee, a very difficult set of forces that would have really stymied most other players.
432 with Mahonic. Most players can't even get that with Bullseye Navoir.
I certainly can't. I think my record here is a 508 with Bullseye.
Mine's a 445 with Bullseye. Match point for Domirae.
All right, let's see where we're going. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Bunta Classic if Dom lets him. To see what Jogilbee can pull out. He's got no forces left, so his strategic picks are kind of limited now. Still considering his pod bans. And you can see him there flicking through every track in the menus, just trying to collect his thoughts and figure out where he can take Dom, where he might have a chance of picking up a track.
Yeah, it's like he said, or he was saying, check, need another second to think, please. So it's almost like he's exhausted his options.
Oh, hey, someone in chat says they used to play on Dreamcast. Hey, do we have anyone who still runs on Dreamcast in the community?
No one.
Well, hey, those are some free roll records.
No one. The only one who touched the Dreamcast version to any solid degree was Nim, and he just dropped out of and he switched to PC. Nice slide.
Looks like actually we have someone in chat who has tried some runs on Dreamcast. I'm not sure what VMU abuse would refer to. Would you happen to know that?
There was something to manipulate. There was something to manipulate the save file or something. You had to you had to take out a hot memory card while it was running, and he's going, "Ooh, book the training for this track."
All right, maybe another miscalculation here by Jogilbee. Domirae has been grinding this track for the past week or so, trying to get world record.
Oh man. Wouldn't be surprised if Domirae tries to go for turning record here.
He could take it. The turning record on this track has been surprisingly resilient. We've had a couple of runs on pace so far. I think Ace broke it, but Dom may be capable of taking it back.
No, the record is still by Mike back in the 2020 tourney.
Oh, did Ace not manage to take this one? I thought he had.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. The record is around 135.9 by Mike back in 2020.
Ah, interesting. Thank you for the explanation, Moothing. That's a very strange console-specific trick.
Yep.
Ubuntu Training Course is, of course, the first track in the game. Not very difficult from a casual standpoint, but actually quite tricky to optimize and to get the fastest times. Since there's not too much that will cause you to crash or too many things to get in your way, and it's a short track, it's quite well studied and quite optimized at this point.
The current record holder for this track is...
There's also one of the, I think, only 3 tracks in the game that is optimal to run at the full 60 frames per second and 600 R600 traction upgrade, which is the highest traction that you're allowed to have.
It's a new lap.
Alright, both players are ready and they've had the countdown, so should see them head off shortly here. Dom treating us to the full zoom in on Ben there. And you should see both players using Sebulba, I would imagine here. Sebulba will crash into a few breakable rocks on the first lap, which will make a boost path on the third lap much easier. And they're off. Both taking reasonable lines there. Ooh, but jogilbee losing the boost as he comes up over the hill. Domirae keeps it. This is going to mean jogilbee is likely to underheat here and lose quite a bit of time.
And he's pulling up, hurting himself even more.
See, Dom there also going for the rock jump strat, and cuts a little bit of the corner, and lets you fly past some rocks which would otherwise be quite in your way. Jogilbee looking much better on his second lap here, holding the boost all the way through the canyon. Really not sure why he's holding nose up there. You can actually hold nose down to charge the boost. You have enough turning power to make it even with the penalty. Ooh, bad bonk there for jogilbee. That's unfortunate. We'll see if Dom can hold this final boost. This is a little trickier than it looks. It looks pretty good. Good timing.
He got it! He broke it! Mike
There it is.
Mike got a 135.9, and Domirae just beat it with a 135.859.
Now 141.8 for jogilbee. A perfectly respectable time considering the bonks and the mistake on lap 1 where he lost his boost. Welcome, Dom. How do you feel about that?
Hey.
Jogilbee.
Hello.
I was gonna say, Jogilbee, what I noticed, what was really hurting you throughout the run, was that you were holding nose up constantly, and you don't have to do that unless you're on a high jump. You only pull up with those up very sparingly.
Yeah, my nerves were getting to me quite a lot that match. I was focusing on all the wrong things, so I just decided a lot of times to go a little slower and let my brain like refocus or whatever. But yeah, once yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's easy to get nervous in these things, that's for sure. I got a little frustrated during the Ben Inferno. Yeah, that was especially the grab vine pick. That was an interesting one. Didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, I was saving that one for you, I guess. I wanted to try, the new tournament rules. And
Yeah. Who'd you pick, by the way?
Mahonic.
Okay, we chose the same pod then. Makes sense. I think was the Bunta training tournament record? I think it was, right?
Yep, by just
I'm
about a
pretty sure
10.
it was I think it was tournament record easily.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I thought it was a 0.9 that was still tournament record. I only asked because I went super safe with the rock jump. Like, super safe. I don't even know if it's worth it going that safe with it, but I was like, I don't want to die.
Is it when you had outdated information? Ace is saying he thought Mike got a 0.6 in the Davy tournament.
Well,
So
if you're including the Davy tournament, then it's not a tournament record. If you're not, it depends on if you want to talk about that or not.
Sure. For Galactic Circuit, though, yes, that will be the tournament record.
Yeah, if we're just talking about this, I think it was. If we're talking about Davy, then no, not a chance.
No.
Beating Mikey on a track like this is at any point would be very difficult.
Agree.
Well, I'm happy I could do SL without dying. I was kind of worried I was going to be too risky, but I played it pretty safe there too.
Yeah, the track has kind of had a bump up in skill level and difficulty with the skip demoted.
Yeah, for sure. I just made sure I wasn't going to die on that. That was my goal, was just to not die there.
Even there, I was the first 2 laps. I could have done the long boost line into the shortcut, but I let go just because I was nervous.
Oh, I did that on lap 3, but I think it's because I was going a bit wide. I was worried I was going to crash on the outside, so I just cut it to be sure. Better to cut boost than die.
Yeah, even after that one going into, like, after the Salty Inferno, it was a little demoralizing seeing your times and seeing how, because you can't help but once, like, as seriously as you take training, once the actual match starts, it feels like my brain just got replaced with a different brain or something,
Yeah.
It's like
No, I completely understand that. That's why I said I was frustrated with my Inferno, It was, one of them was a stupid ceiling death, and I was like, really? I had to die to the ceiling. Actually, I died to the ceiling twice. Once with Sebulba and once with Ben.
Oh, nice.
Stupid ceiling.
Yeah, but in the same token, it was nice to get some practice on the maps I'm best at.
Yeah. That's good. One good thing about this is always like the more matches you do, the more you can train your mindset and your actual muscle memory, because I like to think of it the way that melee players think of it. Whenever you get nervous and everything's on the line, you revert back to whatever your your biggest habits are, right? Whatever is at the core of your gameplay. So being nervous in a tournament shows me what the core of my gameplay can be, and I think that's what I want to work on. That's what I want to improve. I watch Ace and King Bean, they're going out there, and the core of their gameplay feels stronger than what I see myself doing. Even if it isn't, it feels that way to me. So I like that part about tournament, just getting down to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to catch up on all the matches because I've been practicing, but I love watching everyone else as well.
Yeah, it's really nice, for sure. The other matches today were fun as well. And Knock, you did commentary on all 3 today, didn't you?
Yeah, I sure did. I somehow got roped into doing the one in the morning. I was the only one who could sign up for it.
That's great.
It's been an exciting bevy of matches, and I mean, to your credit, Jog, that those were reasonably close races. I mean, a couple fewer mistakes, a couple tighter lines. That those would have been really, really close.
Yeah, it was certainly a lot of fun. I could feel it was kind of close.
Yeah, certainly you'll be a formidable contender in bracket, especially with picks like that Grabvine. That was really exciting to see you just blast all 3 forces on that.
Yeah, I was happy that you did something exciting like that. It's fun to do. I'm surprised I only died the one time there, to be honest. I thought it was kind of a stupid death too. The right edge of Mahonic's hitbox just going right into a corner.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because Mahonic, even though he has the same isect radius as Ben, feels so much wider. I don't get it. Maybe it's the camera. I don't know. But anyway, I had fun with that. GG's again.
GG's.
That is, I've got no more comments to say. Good races to both of the runners. That was exciting to watch.
No, that's
Oh, you back in game, Draco?
definitely. Yeah. Yeah, I think I don't have much else to say either, so I think we're ready to wrap up. Excuse me.
Thanks for the fun match, Dom and jogilbee, and thanks as always to SpeedGaming for letting us host our tournament here. Big props to them.
Mm-hmm. Thanks to you guys for commentating as well. Always need people doing that stuff.
Yeah, we'll have Nacho versus Dom to look forward to. Both of you have only dropped a single track in tournament so far. Very much looking forward to that match.
Yeah, that track record's about to change for one of us. Or maybe both of us. Probably both of us. Looking forward to Nacho. Probably going to see some no upgrades, which has been pretty sparing in the tournament so far.
Yeah, really
Maybe
only
he'll even
Nacho
choose
who
to burn an extra on skips. Who knows? Maybe he'll do a no upgrade skips. Come on, Nacho. You know you want to.
Okay. Good luck, everyone. May the force be with you.
Thank you.
good rounds to both of you as always.